welcome, guys. We're glad you're here. Amanda, this is exciting, right?
I know. I'm so excited. We're talking to college freshmen today to hear what college is really like. We have lots of underclassmen and seniors this year that are going to be excited to hear what they say.
Where'd you go to college?
I went to Hardin-Simmons University in Abilene.
So what was the other school that was better than Hardin-Simmons? Was there a school that was better?
No, there's no school better than
I like
Hardin-Simmons.
doing this. Started off controversial. Kids, this
How
is what
dare
we're going to
you.
do. Right. I went to Texas Tech. Y'all might or might not have known that. David Vincent here. And thank you, Coop. I appreciate that. And we are here with some guys that we would consider folks that have lived the experience in a couple of different ways. And so we're glad you are here once removed as graduates, and we're going to get your take on college life, what it was like. Let me just say this. I liked college. I hope you are too. So should we just ask everybody to introduce themselves?
Yeah, that would be perfect.
So start with you, Chanel.
I'm Chanel. I'm a freshman at the University of Texas at Austin. I'm majoring in neuroscience, and I'm on the pre-med track.
I'm Cooper Andrews. I am a kinesiology student at Texas Tech, and I'm also on the pre-med track.
I'm Abel Elias. I attend the University of Pennsylvania, and currently I'm planning either on majoring in chemistry or chemical engineering.
I wanted you to know this, that a lot of the things that we do with the Wylie Way is based on the research from the University of Pennsylvania. Did you know this?
I actually did not know that.
I'm
Wow.
going to get you to help me. You're the conduit, Abel, so thanks so much.
All right, I'm Micah Clayton, and I am a theater major at SMU.
So now, Clayton, you're the last of the girls that have graduated?
Yes.
So it seemed like there was just every year somebody graduating. Awesome kids. This is going to be an exciting crew. So let's get started. So do you want to ask the first question?
Yeah, so you can just take it, whoever wants to speak first, and we can just go around. What surprised you the most about college life?
I mean,
Go
for
ahead.
me, it's kind of lame, but the food doesn't suck like everyone says it does.
It's awesome,
No.
isn't it?
You get to eat pretty much wherever you wanted, or at least at Tech. Like, your dining bucks transfer wherever, and there's salads and grilled chicken if you want to eat healthy, but there's just as many burger joints and fried chicken, Asian food places. It's pretty good food.
I did not know that there was salad or grilled chicken at Texas Tech. I'm just being honest, so thanks.
I think the one thing that surprised me is the fact that since I moved so far away, like I have to, I guess, get through my own problems by myself. So like without my parents being there around me, I have to go through this like entirely new environment without them. And at the beginning, it was kind of a challenge, like overcoming that. But in the past months, like I've went through so many mistakes that like honestly, I've learned so much more by myself than I ever learned at home, really, which is kind of weird.
That's a great life
Yeah,
experience.
absolutely.
I gotta say that I was most surprised by just the amount of weeknights that people can go to parties. Like, I'll just be walking back to my dorm and just see hordes of people dressed up and going out on a Wednesday.
That is true. I would always say this: at Texas Tech, we would be going to a football game, and the architecture building was always lit up, and we called it the Architecture Building. And I thought the only people who never get to go outside, architecture people. I don't know.
One thing that surprised me was that the food is terrible.
Oh, no.
It's really
Listen
sad.
to this. Listen to this. Texas Tech, great food. University of Texas, I don't know. That's good. So that's interesting. And I mean, those perspectives are real and they're important to our kids. Oh, okay. So next question. Has anyone tried to drop a class? If so, why? And how did it go? How do you do that? How do you go about dropping a class?
I haven't dropped a class before finals. I honestly wanted to, but I didn't.
Stayed in there.
I mean, I haven't at Tech, but the process is really easy. We just do all of our stuff is through an app on your phone or on a computer. So you can add or drop classes pretty quickly.
Well, so I did drop a class this semester. At the beginning, I was
Thankfully, somebody has an example.
I was thinking that I could do the same things that I did in high school and college. So like, I thought I could just take all these honors classes that I took in high school, but that was really not the case. I took honors chem at the beginning of the semester, and it wasn't so much it was a challenge. It was the fact that it was going so fast, and my professor, like, we didn't communicate as well as my old teachers did. So I wanted to, like, I was trying to drop it, but like what happened was it was after the 3 week add and drop period for school. So I had to go through this whole process. I had to ask, like, go through my advisor. And after going through my advisor, I had to make a petition. I had to get a general chemistry professor to approve that petition and then appear in front of the council within all the same week. So it was kind of hectic, but in the end, like, I managed getting through and getting into the regular general chemistry class. But sadly, there was a midterm within 2 days that I still had to take in that class. So that was a little rough. But besides that, I mean, it's really an easy process, especially if you do it in the first 3 weeks, because we have like an add drop period, just like it was in high school.
So that's important.
I haven't dropped a class, but you would just talk to your advisor and have her take you out of it.
Well, the thing that we've all learned here from this is that college, that level of independence, that no one is bothering you, no one's asking you, there's not a mom on the other end of the Skyward app to say, how is that class going? And you have to take advantage and get it done quickly. And even as someone as smart as you guys, there's that need because that speed and what they do, and there's not someone to hold your hand here like they want you to be successful. It's different.
So speaking of being successful, in high school you have to go to school, and college is a little bit different. So we were college freshmen once. We probably have our own stories. But are you going to class? I mean, how are you getting this done? What tips could you share with the seniors this year about what to do and how to go to class in college?
For the most part, I go to class. Sometimes I skip my 8 a.m. because it was rough most of the time, but other than that, it was pretty easy to go to class.
Yeah, I mean, for me at least, the only reason I was used to waking up at 8 a.m. was because I had to wake up early for athletics in the morning in high school. So the 8 a.m. wasn't that rough, but I definitely noticed that the people that went to class tended to get better grades, and the people that didn't go to class were the ones that were running around with chickens, like chickens with their heads cut off around finals time. So
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I would say I attended class pretty much every day. I attended my 8 a.m.s. I mean, towards the end of the semester, when it was closing towards finals, like, we were going through less material and we were kind of, I guess, reviewing. I would start not showing up to my 8 a.m.s, but like, that was just about it.
Yeah. I got sick once, and so like I missed 2 of my classes that one day, but I like even went to my theater class that day because I didn't want to miss anything, like sometimes you just get so much information in a class period that you don't want to miss out on it.
Well, I think it's fair to say, even if the high school honors classes and high school AP classes, my kids will almost go to school sick because here you miss a day, you miss a lot. And if you're in that rigor or that mode, it's pretty much where you're going and what you're doing, right? So if you're taking those classes, it's different. Like you're saying, the speed, not different in terms of what you're learning.
What about how did you know what classes to take? Like, how did you know what classes to sign up for as a freshman?
For me personally, I'm in a program that's specific to science majors at UT. And so our advisors help us make sure we're in classes that are either going to pre-med or pre-dental or wherever that's taking us.
So it's like a list of classes to kind of help you know what to take.
yeah, that's what I noticed too. Basically, you just have your advisor sits down with you and you just have this giant online checklist, and they mark off what you got done taking care of in high school. They mark off what you're taking care of this semester, and then it's basically your choice. You just have to get the prerequisites done, and then you can start taking your classes for majors. But really, it's just kind of just up to you as long as you're getting all the things you need from that checklist.
Yeah, like Chanel, I also am in the science program where the advisor, basically we have a set amount of classes we have to take each year, and it's each year, freshman first semester, freshman second semester, and we have a set schedule basically. So I'm just following the path. I really haven't chosen any of my classes by myself, really.
Yeah, we have a certain amount of university credits that we have to have before we graduate, but a lot of our classes in our major take care of those. So I have set classes for my major that I have to take now, as well as Spanish and math and personal wellness.
What about college roommates? Did y'all have college roommates? Did you pick them yourselves? Was it potluck? How did y'all do that?
My roommate went to Wylie East, and so it was pretty easy for me to select her. So
Did
yeah.
y'all plan that ahead of time?
We did.
Okay.
And our neighbors went to Wylie East too. So
Oh, wow.
it's like a little family.
That is nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, my roommate went to East too. We just if you go online at the tech housing page, you can just switch your rooms, and we just switched into the same room. So
Currently, my roommates, I met one of them at the flying program, which is like when the school pays for you to come and visit and tour the school. And so there I met Harris, who also lives in Dallas, and he's really cool. And he already planned on rooming with another guy from Georgia, and so we decided to just all room together and get a triple, which honestly was like the best decision now, because now we have like 2 separate bedrooms and like a common room, so like a living room in our dorm, so with like
Able.
a little kitchenette. Yeah.
Y'all
We're
should
living the
suffer
life.
more in college. There's no suffering.
Yeah. we're
Wait,
really
did you
living the
say
life.
they flew you up there?
Yeah, they did. They paid for like my flight and everything.
Oh,
You
my
have a
goodness.
kitchenette.
Mhm.
I'm so jealous.
yeah, I'm jealous of that. That's one thing that I hate about dorm life, is that I don't have a kitchen.
Yeah.
Abel can't answer any more questions.
What about you, Micah?
I met my roommate at orientation over the summer, and we just like both felt that out of everyone there, we could really live together, and I'm really glad that we chose to live with each other because I have nothing to complain about her.
Really? Now, you've heard horror stories of the opposite, right?
Right.
Oh, for sure.
Right.
So, Chanel, is there anybody having big fights on y'all's hallway?
No, our hallway's pretty small because we're like in the basement and it's old and nobody wants to live there. So yeah.
Maybe you should live around Abel. That's
Yeah.
right. There you go.
What else? Okay, so getting involved on campus. So freshman year, like freshman year of high school, we really try to push the kids to get involved in something or meet somebody. What has it been like as a college freshman?
Definitely, I think it's definitely different than it was in high school. Especially in high school, I think a lot of us were really trying to do everything at once. Especially like the kids who are like really excelling at school, they've really tried to like be in every little club here on
Yes.
campus. But really in college, like you really can't do the same thing. Especially, at least from my experience, you can't do the same thing. So you really just join the clubs you really want to be in. So like I'm in like this minority pre-health club, and like I'm in a
So
committee
it's
for
that
that.
specific.
Yeah, they have like
How
really
cool.
specific clubs. Like they have like at least like 500 clubs on campus, which is kind of crazy.
How did you know about the clubs?
Going into the school, there was like group chats that we made on like GroupMe, and basically it's like all the freshmen or like upperclassmen or specific to your major. Like we all made like group chats and stuff, and you get added to them, and they would talk about the different clubs and organizations and when their first like board meetings are during
Okay.
the beginning of the semester.
Okay.
We had a night at the beginning of our school year where a lot of clubs had their booths set up in the gym, and we like went around and looked at
It's just
them.
like the movies.
Yeah, yeah,
That's Micah, that's how they do it. That's awesome. Yeah.
yeah.
So where'd you
and-
join?
Well, I looked at a lot of Bible studies there, and then I like went to one and like stuck with one that worked with my schedule.
Theater / soccer player. You're doing it all. That's impressive, Micah. Impressive. That's just neat. Chanel,
Sorry.
Cooper, go ahead.
Okay. So ours was a lot like Micah's. We had a big, they called it a club and organization fair, and it was in the sub, which is like the big building in the middle of campus where there's food and there's a big old hall where the organizations tend to like hang out.
Oh, yeah.
And I joined intramural football. I joined the competitive flag league, so that's been a lot of fun. We made playoffs, but we lost out in the first round.
Oh,
So, and then I also joined HOSA, which is the Health Occupational Sciences Association.
you got it. That's very
Yeah,
good.
So that was cool. They helped me get plugged into some service hours and stuff. So it's been really fun.
Cooper, now what was the name of your football team? Because that's always I always was amazed at the names that were used. Or can you use that? We should even say.
I mean, I can use it. You just might have to edit it out.
we're good. We're good. Chanel,
I was in an organization called Women in Medicine, and we listen to different women that are in the health field. And yeah, there's like 1,000+ orgs on campus. So there wasn't like one set event where we got to see all of them.
wow.
But
So
yeah.
yeah, I mean, UT has how many kids
I think we're close to 60,000 students.
Yeah, that's a lot of kids,
Yeah.
right? So that's, yeah, no kidding. That's a lot of Longhorns. That's a lot of Longhorns. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So when you talk about this, has anyone been homesick? And what made you feel better?
I've been homesick. The only way that made me feel better was going home. Yeah. So
Was it that moment where were you not feeling good? Because that's when a lot of people are like, I didn't feel good and mom's not there to take care of you.
no, it was just kind of like halfway through. I was like, wow, my sister's not here to like annoy me. Like my mom's not here, my dad's not here. And so then we all went home for the weekend.
Did it make you feel better?
Yeah, it was nice.
That's good.
I haven't gotten homesick. I'm so close. I don't know.
Oh.
Sometimes my parents were like, tell me to come home for the weekend, and I will. So, like,
So do you live so close? Do you come home typically every weekend or not?
not every weekend, but I mean, it's been a busy semester. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I really didn't have that option.
Yeah, Abel.
Come home every weekend. So I guess it really was a struggle, especially halfway through the semester. It gotten so bad, like I was really considering like dropping out. Like it was getting really bad. So what really helped me was, I guess, talking to my sister, because talking to my parents sometimes made me feel more homesick. Like I miss them so much.
Yeah.
But like talking to my sister, I felt like I was in her life still, and I was like still listening to her like daily problems or like her schoolwork and stuff. So I felt like I was still there and I was still home listening to her. So
We always talk about that little wild place, and it's that moment of terror or sadness or combination of the two where you're saying, I'm in this spot and I don't know what to do. And you make really sometimes not so great decisions, long permanent decisions for very short-term problems, but you feel it right there and you need your family.
I don't know. I mean, Tech was 6 hours away, so I didn't get to come home that often. But my parents did come up once or twice for football games and stuff. And I just found that staying busy and calling my mom really frequently just helped keep that away.
Did you realize how much you loved your mom until you left? I love my mom. Wow. Okay, that's good. So how has college changed you?
I learned that I procrastinate a lot. I finished like 5 seasons of a show in a week and a half.
Well,
And
oh, really?
yeah, it's not good. So I deleted Netflix. I learned that I just need to focus.
You know, that is the most disciplined thing I've ever heard. Awesome. Or do you think you're basically the same person that left and you're still that person? Do you have you have went from Texas to Pennsylvania.
I mean, I don't feel like I'm the same person, but like I can't really find something specific. I mean, I guess I feel like on the opposite end of Chanel. I felt like in high school I procrastinated a lot, but in college, like I had to get my stuff in gear, so I really just like, I guess whenever I found time, I would start doing work, which was like the opposite of what I used to do in high school.
That was me too.
So I feel like I
Everyone
find any
Cooper
time,
together.
any time I have like available, I would be studying or like doing work. I guess that's one thing I've changed.
I think that was one of the ways that college kind of helped me for the better, was that since I was actually like thrown out there on my own, I was like, oh, this is all on me now. Like if I don't do well, that's several $1,000s down the drain. So better get my stuff together. So
Wouldn't you say also that y'all are all obviously academically achieving students? You have to maintain that achievement to keep your scholarships.
Yeah, you do.
And so any foot off the gas could result in financial repercussions, right? It's a big deal. So, last question. Any words of wisdom that you could provide to a senior, maybe a sophomore, junior, I don't even know, maybe a freshman that is in school right now? What would you say to them?
One of my professors that I really liked, he always talked about how it's really important that you find what you love and you dive into that, because that's the only way that you're not going to get bored of what you're doing. And if you don't know what that is yet, there's plenty of opportunities to go out and find it.
Cool. Cooper, good advice.
I would say like find people who care about you. So like if you're at college and you get really homesick or lonely, you should have friends there who will make you feel wanted and important.
You know, all the research from the University of Pennsylvania tells you that when you have that connection, those relationships, you know, y'all probably got tired of the Wylie way while you were here, but building those relationships were so important. What you're saying validates that. Abel?
I think one thing in terms of like college and like applying to it, I really think that some seniors, especially me, who think they can't get into the school or they like can't afford the school, they never even try applying in the first place. But I think it's like the opposite. It's like if you apply, I just think you should apply to any school you like want to go to. So like if you want to go to a school in LA, like go to that school in LA. Like you could apply to any school and like think about money as a factor later. Don't worry about it as like a factor of applying, because you never know like how much these schools will be paying you. Because like, I'm sorry, Chanel, but like UT like really played me with the financial aid. And when I applied to Penn really gave me like, I guess made it cheaper for me than like a public school here, which was a lot closer to me. So
It's an Ivy League school.
yeah, so it's like they pay a lot with like they have like a lot of need-based like financial aid. So like your academic achievement doesn't really go into how much they give you. It's like how much you really need, like based on your like annual income of your parents and stuff like that. So if you really think you can go to that school, like I feel like everyone should try at the least.
Sure. Good.
I would say just appreciate the people around you, whether that's here or when you're in college. Just like have people that love you and support you, and you do the same to them.
That's so sweet.
Amanda, this has been great advice.
I know.
Y'all are
I
much more
loved
mature,
college.
right?
Let's all go back.
Are they more mature than we were when we were in high
I was
school?
like, I would have
and
answered
college?
all these differently. No, I didn't go to class. Yes,
No,
the food
yeah.
was crazy.
I mean, you know, thanks for helping us today. And if you can think of or know or find any other things that you forget to tell, we'll try to put this on a blog, part of a blog, and even follow up with some of those questions. Guys, thank you very much.
Yes,
Thanks
thank
for
you
having
all
us.
so much.